So this is the CNC router. CNC stands for computer numerical control. Shows the bed of the machine. The bed is made up of a grid which works on an x-axis and a y-axis, like an ordnance survey map. There are air holes underneath it which suck the board onto the bed. It creates a vacuum. Turn the machine on. Those green numbers show the coordinates which I've programmed in, tell the cutter where to go. To do a straight line, the cutter has to be programmed to go from point A, the coordinate of point A, to its finishing coordinate, point B. And it also has to be told that it's going to be cut in a straight line, which in computer language is a G1. Later on you can see it doing circles as well. Those red numbers show the data that's in the computer being read by the computer on the x-axis and the y-axis, and on the z, which is the depth. The board itself is laminated with two coloured veneers beneath the surface, two blue veneers and two red veneers, with two sycamore veneers on the top. By programming the cutter to cut at different depths, I can pick up the two different colours. It's still programmed to run a straight line, but stops at regular intervals to change depth. These parts provide the colour behind the hinges on the cabinet. See the head moving up and down there. You can see there as well that it's the bed that moves and the cutter itself stays stationary. And that's the first part done. So I can program the computer to start part 2. So the numbers moving away. Changing the speed. The head comes down and it starts to cut the curve which we've programmed in. To program a curve is the same principle as programming a straight line. You still move the point A and the point B. You also have to give the computer the radius of the circle, and you also have to tell it the direction which you want it to cut, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. In computer language, that's a G2 for clockwise and G3 anti-clockwise. The machine is particularly good for these geometrical shapes because it can piece them accurately with hardly any information needed. To do a more free-form curve, you need to plot every point along the route, which is obviously very time-consuming. Although a new machine has now been brought out which can read the beginning point and the last point with one point along the curve programmed in, and it will do the curve for you. but it's very accurate and it gives a very clean, crisp image. Of course it can be taped into magnetic tape, so it's reproducible at any time. And I can get a printout of the programme so that I can study it off screen. And the time it's doing the different depths, going 2.5mm into the work for the red and 1.5mm into the work for the blue. Shows at 400x, 400y, which is the offloading position for the end of the programme. That's the finished work. So I can program it now to take the head back to naught, ready to start again. So you can see X naught, Y naught and Z naught. Stop the machine. And here's the finished work. Let's have the dust blown out of it, and all it needs now is just a little bit of sandpaper around the edges to clean it up a bit. So I can switch the machine off and pick up the finished erect panel and take it off to be fitted.